Morning, everyone. Hello and welcome to the LovenStamps Studio. My name is Meg Loven and I am here to share a project with you this morning on this fabulous Thursday. So I don't know if it's sunny where you are, but it is an absolutely gorgeous sunny day today. And it's like, I don't know, I'm kind of solar powered sometimes. Anyone else? Leave a comment and we can commiserate together about those cloudy season days. So today's project is one that at first glance might look kind of Valentine-y and definitely works for Valentine's. So it's a great time of year to be looking at it, but it will last you all year long when you are sending cards for any kind of like loving you occasion, thinking of you. And the reason for that is that we are using one of the new stamps from the new book. Wait, you have to hold it up. Da-da-da. The new one here. Hey, Sue. We're using one of these new ones. It is called Hugs for Love. And so here is the stamp set. And it's fabulous coordinating punch. I love these together. This is called the To The Point Punch. And there are actually two different stamp sets that coordinate with it. So it is like a double whammy bonus in here. And I was just looking to find the second stamp set that coordinates it with it. It's called Bright Borders. So here is this one. I will show it to you. So it gives you a whole bunch more things that you can punch out with this really great shape, which of course you can use just without a border too. But this is one of the very first things that I used from my demonstrator pre-order haul when I got to like pre-order things from this book. So I think you're gonna see why. It's a really great shape and it's perfect for this card as an extra decoration. We are also going to use the Hearts of Elegance stamp set because it has all of these dies involved in it. Lots and lots of really cool designs. So you're gonna see where those all come together. And then we're gonna finish off the back of our card with the Sharing, Loving, Crafting because I think this is a really fun one. So I think I am going to end up using this on pretty much every envelope. It's gone on most envelopes that have left my studio since I had my hands on this. Because it has this really fun one on the bottom, says just to brighten your day. And I love this stamp for an envelope, especially when you have a image set like this that you can layer those two things on top of each other. So more on that when we get there. So hey Joan, hey Tanya. Oh gosh, you West Coast people and your coffee. I hope you're doing well this morning. So, all right, with that, I'm gonna switch my camera down and we are going to get started. Wrong button. There we go. Hi Trish, good to see you too. All right, so we have all of these pieces, but let me slow down here and kind of go a little at a time because this is a really simple card layout. It is not hard to do. And it's one that you can adapt for lots of things. It's inspired by a swap that I got. So I'll just go ahead and show you that one again. This is a swap made by Karen Snyder. And I think she may have gotten this card idea. My friend Mary Ellen Seitz did one also. But this is Karen's card. It was a swap using some really cool designs from the new catalog. And if you didn't see the new catalog tour where I went through, I don't remember, does anyone remember how many cards we ended up with? 78, I think, new card ideas. That's a whole lot. So this is from one of those swaps. So what I've got is a piece of cardstock. This is 11 inches by 4 1/4. Hey Pam, hey Betty. It's cold everywhere, I think. And you're just gonna go ahead and fold this in half, okay? Now let's do the front of our card first. So I have some of these really gorgeous marbled with elegance papers. They are pretty on the back, but they are absolutely glittering, glamour-ish, gorgeous on the front. They have these really pretty gold foil elements. And so what I did was take this largest heart here from the marbled, from the Hearts with Elegance die bundle. So I'll set this here so you can remember what it's called. And die cut this piece for ourselves. So this is out of a different one of the papers here from this series. They're really pretty. And this is gonna fit here on the front of our card. Now, I wanted to decorate this. Just realized I don't know what I did with my, sample. Might have to go get it. Okay, so got this set up here. Now I want to put a greeting on the front of this card, and we're gonna do this one with the sending you a big hug, because honestly, the way this card opens, I kind of showed it to you. I feel like it's kind of like getting a big hug. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Bonnie. Oh my gosh. That is really cold, Bonnie. Hi, Faye. So it's kind of like getting a big hug. So we're going to go ahead here and grab a piece of Pretty in Pink cardstock and my outline stamp here with the hearts on it. There's two here. Now, if you are a lucky stamper who got one of my calendars this year, this one is the stamp that I used on that butterfly calendar. And so we're going to use this one with the hearts on it because we are featuring hearts on today's card. And we're actually going to need two of these. So I'm going to go ahead and just punch out two as we go. Remember to march your stamp across there so that you get a really good even inking. All right. And on the front of our card, like I said, we're going to stamp sending you a big hug. So I'm going to pop this one here. I'm looking through my stamp to make sure that it's inked the way I want it before I pop it here on my card. And then on the inside, we're going to do lots of hugs and kisses. All right. So you could, of course, there is a stamp here that says Happy Valentine's Day in Hugs for Love. So if you wanted to make this Valentine specific, you could. I kind of like making like these little like hugs and love and whatever cards because you can send them for Valentine's Day out of your stash, but they don't have to be Valentine's Day. So Tanya says one of her top 3 favorite papers, going to order more. Yes. So this Marbled with Elegance paper is a from the online exclusives. So there's no like super guarantee on how long it will last, which means sometimes I like to snag those when I first see them so that I don't miss out. So, all right. And then I'm going to go ahead and line this up. Remember, if you're using Stampin' Up! Punches, you're using them upside down like this so that you can see. The other trick that I will just share when I'm stamping with people in person, I always say, be careful when you punch, because when you punch, this is going to close down like this. See how this gets really tight right there? What you don't want to do is punch it with your skin in there, because that hurts like hardly, well, okay, it's not terrible, but it hurts a whole lot. So when I punch with these, because I don't have the strongest hands in the world, what I like to do is grab it. So I got it all set. I grabbed it by pinching just a little bit here with one hand. So one hand's moving, one hand's pinching. And once I've got it set, then I just take 2 hands, make sure that they're clear out of the way of the bottom, and punch that out with like 2 hands, right? Oh yeah, Cindy says that does hurt. Now the other thing, sometimes I get people who are like, the punches are hard. What I find is that it's really important, remember this is a lever, okay? So when you hold the punch back here and punch, you're gonna get all this lever action, okay? Simple Machines, Physics 101. If you're trying to punch it right here, you're actually like, you're forcing, there's very little lever action there. So you get so much more. My physics is rusty. If you're twice as far back, you get, I don't know how many more times the pressure. So remember to hold your punches out here at the end when you're punching to make your life so much easier. Good morning, Lori. All right, so we have our 2 pieces, one for the inside, one for the front. So we're gonna pop this on here. Now I'm going to bring in my open weave gold trim. This is like my new fave little extra bonus element. It's easy to use and easy to apply. It weighs nothing and it's flat, and all I have to do to pop this on here, I'm going to do this a little bit of a jaunty angle, is add some adhesive. And my favorite adhesive for doing that is just a strip of the edges of a Stampin' Dimensional, okay? And I'm just going to pop this right on here, and this is going nowhere. It's all nicely set down there, okay? And then I can cover that up with my sending you a big hug. And put this down just a little more, okay? All right, so my heart is crooked, but because this has vertical lines, I'm gonna try and keep these vertical lines parallel with the edge of my card, okay? Now, I feel like this needs another element that kind of like draws your eye to open the card. Plus, we're gonna have a strippy thing inside, so it kind of continues that horizontal motion. And so I've got a strip here of the Designer Series paper, another pattern. I'm going to use the back side of this one. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop this on the front. I just realized my sweater matches our card. Maybe not intentional, but like I said, it's really chilly here today. Although maybe not as cold as some of you. And so I wore something really warm. Oh, also later today, here's my public service announcement. I have to go get my mammogram, my annual mammogram. Make sure you're scheduling and keeping your appointments for your mammograms. Don't miss them. All right. So we're going to take now and pop some backgrounds on here. And then with our dimensionals, we're going to go ahead and stick this down. All right. Like I said, I'm going to keep those lines here vertical, parallel with the edges of our card. So, oh, Betty says this is a great way to use the gold ribbon. It hardly looks like a ribbon. Yeah, it's really subtle. And with all the gold flakes in the back of the Marbled Elegance, it just is like one extra texture item. It doesn't stand out too much. It's just, I really like it. All right, now I feel like we need a third thing on here. We have 1, 2, the strip doesn't really count. It's part of the background. We need a third embellishment. So this is where these hearts on this side from Hearts of Elegance are going to come in. So let me pull these out so you can really see them. This is such a great die set with all the selections. So different sizes. We're going to get to these. I'm actually going to use every single one of these dies on this card. We've already used the big one from here. I didn't use this one, but you could work it in there too. Now, if you're looking at this giant heart and you're thinking, oh, that doesn't really fit on a card, it's just really, really tight to the edges of a card front. First of all, if you're a scrapbooker, hey, but we love big things. Second, you don't have to put the whole heart on here to get the image of a heart, especially if you're layering it with more hearts. So you could totally have this die cut piece that is cut out there and cut out here. And you see how that really just gives you a really great heart background without necessarily the whole piece going on there. It's a good thing. So, all right, Lori said, I haven't seen Hugs for Love. Yeah, it is. Oh, this goes in the other piece. It is from the mini catalog. It is one of the hearts, or one of the punch bundles in here. So let's see if I can spot it. So it's going to be after the suite section because that's the suite section, because it is in the bundle section. And here it is here on page 54. So it was easy to overlook, honestly. The first time I looked at it, I was like, I don't need that. And then I came back to it because I always am excited about the punches that come out. And so then I was like, oh, okay, fine. But now that I've played with it, holy cow, this stamp set's amazing. All right. So back to our heart dies, we're going to go ahead, we're going to use this tiny one right here. And I have cut this from Melon Mambo cardstock so that it can be part of our piece here. Now, like I said, it's really kind of fun sometimes to overlap the edges of things. You don't always have to have the full image present for this to be effective. So with that in mind, I'm going to use 2 of these little hearts because, like I said, there's a whole section of fun heart stamps and we're going to use every one of them. Actually, all of the ones in this whole row. We're using like 9/10 of all the stamps in this set, actually. I have them everywhere. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp the edge. Now, you can clearly tell that this is a heart-related image, even though the whole thing isn't on there. Then I'm going to come back with our teeny hearts, and I'm going to emphasize it even more. I'm going to pop some of these on the other side. You see how that just gets so, here's the without part. Yay, nice, clean, easygoing with that fun border that's die cut. But this one with all those little extra elements is an extra fun addition to our card. So we're going to pop a dimensional on here and then add this here. So, oh, Bonnie said the Hugs for Love bundle is a good price point. It is, actually. It's a nice sort of easy investment for Valentine. So the Heart of Elegance is a really big set with the stamps and the dies, all these dies included. It's a little bit more of a commitment. The To the Point is a nice, easy one. Plus, this one is good for lots of occasions. Honestly, this greeting right here, I'm not using it on this card, but I think this is the one that I will use the most. You Make Me Smile. I really see myself sending a lot of those cards. Sending You a Big Hug, that is also, I mean, this could be a sympathy stamp. There's a lot of really great ones. This is sort of a thank you idea. You and I make the best team. like really these are great greetings with saying the things that we want to say, but like not in the traditional way. So really fun. Yay, Laura, I'm glad you're having fun. Okay, so there is the front of our card, not finished yet because we have to add our embellishment, and ta-da! This comes in the form of these heart sequins. And so I'm just gonna pop one of these here on the front of our card, and I'm gonna pop it right here to sort of center our focal point. I thought about putting it over here, but then it's kind of competing with all of this stuff going on. So if I bring it right over here, it's centering everything. So, okay. All right, and then we have this strip that's like, hey, open this card. Dum-da-dum, all empty on the inside. Don't worry, we'll fix that. Okay, now I have a couple tips for this, having made this card a couple times. So first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and pop these strips down. Now on this version of the card, we're using full pieces of DSP because I cannot get enough of this gorgeous paper. You don't have to use full pieces. If you want, you could leave the inside of your card just cardstock. If you want, you could do like strips that are gonna fall like at the bottom of the card. Like you can accomplish this lots of different ways. But I am a huge fan of like this big expanse of designer series paper. So, all right, now we're gonna put a strip in here, and this is the part where I'm gonna give you some tricks for making sure that your card functions, okay? So we have a paper, it's 1 inch by 11 inches, so it's the same width as the card. And I'm gonna go ahead and fold it. I've scored it at 2 3/4 inches, at 5 1/2, and at 2 3/4 inches. So it's 2 3/4 from each end. So basically it's in half and then in half again. So we're gonna fold this to make an M or a W, kind of whatever you want. You could call it a W if you want. You could call it an M if you want. We'll go this M for Maker Mornings with Meg. And then I like to just sort of test and make sure like, okay, yes, I understand how this is gonna go together, because that is gonna help me decide where to put the glue. And the glue is gonna go on the ends of our strip, okay? Don't use too much. You do not want this glue to sploosh out, technical term, from the edges. As I say with multi-purpose liquid glue, if you can see it, it is enough. Okay, so I'm gonna start. Now, this is a cool trick for applying this and not having to stress about getting it in the right place and moving it and having glue everywhere. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of flatten this part again, because I can set this on the card and line up those center scores. And meanwhile, let's turn it sideways, these pieces are floating out in the air. Do you see that? So I don't have to worry about them contacting our card and messing everything up. Now I like this in sort of the top third of our card. So now I'm gonna flatten these, make sure they're straight, hold for 2 seconds so they're not gonna shift on me, and then I'm gonna close my card, okay? This is where multi-purpose liquid glue is your best friend, because if something got crooked in there or whatever, when you close that card after those 2 seconds, it's gonna give you a chance to shift things so that your card will actually still close to go in an envelope, all right? So make sure this gives a chance to grab, and then you are all set to start decorating the inside of your card. So this is where I promised we were gonna use all of these. So we're now using this one and this one and this one. Oh, maybe I fibbed. Maybe we're not using this one. Okay, well, we still like it. I'll show you another card where we use these little pieces here. I actually have this card to show you, but I don't remember if it's a card with this bundle. I don't remember if I've shown it to you on Maker Mornings with Meg, or if it's from someplace else, but I have them in my studio, so clearly I made them somewhere. Hey, thanks, Mary Ellen. Oh, thanks, Shar. All right, so anyway, we're doing these from Pretty in Pink here because we're gonna match these up with our card. So I'm gonna leave this straight here, and now I have 1, 2, and where's my third? Wait, it's like in the envelope, so 1, 2, 3 here for our hearts. And so now we're gonna go ahead and pop these on here. I like this one here as like the extra interest one, and then like so. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do some stamping on these. And again, I'm not gonna worry too much about using a whole image. I really like the outline or like using an edge of an image, because it kind of gives us this idea of motion. And so as we're going through here, like this image is coming off the right side, which means like it makes your eye kind of like bleed this way. All right. Our second one's set, and then this one, here's a cute little trick that you can do with a little element stamp. This is the little hearts, and I'm gonna ink these up once, make sure I get them well inked, and then I'm gonna stamp 3 times. 1, I'm gonna shift and move down, stamp 2, I'm gonna shift and move down and stamp 3, so that I have this little repeated element motif. This is a really fun thing to add in lots of places, and when there's a stamp like this with a little line, I'm all over this. Now, this is where you have some decisions to make. How are you sharing this card? Are you sharing this card by mailing it, in which case I recommend not putting dimensionals inside it, or are you just handing it to someone, in which case, phew, dimensional it all up. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna glue this one. Now make sure when you put your glue on that you're not exceeding the edges of where the glue is gonna contact your paper. So I'm gonna do kind of in here. Like I said, it doesn't take a lot for multi-purpose liquid glue to grab and hold permanently. It's some awesome stuff. And then I'm going to pop this one on here. I'm gonna vary the height of these just a little bit so they're not all like straight across. That is certainly something that you can do, have them all straight across. I'm gonna do a little bit of movement because I feel like with the swirl and the background, this is a very like organic-y kind of card. So there we have that set. All right, so now we need one more heart for the inside because I can't resist. So I'm gonna pop one of these bigger ones on here, and we're gonna pop this here like a period for our lots of hugs and kisses, okay? All right, now if you wanted to write more message than fits on here, you could add like a little white layer under here. You could replace this panel here with a white panel and write some more. You could, you know, make yourself another little area. Lots of possibilities for this one if you want to write more on your message. You could also pick one of the Marbled with Elegance papers that is a lighter background, and you could just write right on here. So this one's heavy and cherry cobbler, which is a great choice. But there's some that are like a little bit lighter with the pinks, and so you might be able to just write directly on those. Yay! Everyone likes this card. Oh, Betty says you're not getting a card like this at the store for sure. That is right, and take that, Hallmark. But because we do take pride in our work, I'm gonna flip this card to the back, which I probably should have done earlier to stamp on. I have 2 other stamp sets that I wanna show you. One of them, I promised, is the Sharing, Loving, Crafting set. And so for this one, I'm going to pull out, I need a block. So let me clean this one up real fast. And, oh, I do love my chamois for just yanking that ink right off of there. And, okay, I'm gonna pop this inside so I don't lose it. Okay, so now I have my ink, and we're gonna do this just to brighten your day, because that is, I think, one of my favorites. And we're gonna stamp on our envelope here. So this one, just to brighten your day, I'm gonna stamp down here at the bottom. And then because I want to like have some motif here to give us some effect, I'm missing like one heart. Did I not use this one? Nope, it's here somewhere. Okay, well, this is what happens when your stuff is everywhere. Although my space is pretty cleaned up. Okay, well, I'll use this one instead. So I'm gonna use this. I don't want to stamp over this in the same color because it's gonna make it hard to read. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp off. And I like to test this. So what I do is on my scrap paper, I'm gonna do like 4, 5 even, there we go, iterations. And then I can look and see what number do I want to stamp behind here. Number 1's too strong, number 2 also too strong, 3 getting closer, I think maybe number 4. It's a heart, and it's it's gonna match, sorry, I'm distracted by Darlene's comment. Yay, Darlene, I'm so glad you found us. Welcome. So number 4 here is light enough to go behind, but since it's a heart, it's an image that people's eyes finish, even if they don't get the whole thing. So I'm not gonna worry too much about that. So 1, 2, 3, and then number 4 is gonna go here in our card. And there is how that worked out. So just about right. Okay, so use your scrap paper. That's what it's there for. You guys have seen me use the grid paper so much. I didn't put it in a supply link, so The comments have a supply link. The video description has a supply link. But grid paper is one of those staples that I just use all the time. All right, now we could also do on the back of our card, let's see, you could do handcrafted by your little, like, you know, and then sign on there. You could do crafted with you in mind. You could do all kinds of things. But let me talk just a tiny bit about these little copyright Stampin' Up! Things. Like, why would you want that on your card? Well, first of all, they're kind of fun. It's like, you know, having a little hallmark on the back. But second of all, if you are wanting to make cards to, like Betty said, you can't get this from the Hallmark store, but there are a lot of stampers who really love the idea of selling the cards that they've made. And so you might make up a whole bunch of cards and have them like on the counter in a shop someplace, like at your salon or your dog groomers or someplace like that, someplace where you have a great relationship and someone said, yes, I would love to sell your cards for you. When you do that, because the images that Stampin' Up! Has are all copyrighted, right down here, copyright Stampin' Up! That is means that when you sell the cards, you have to observe the angel policy, which is actually really easy with Stampin' Up! All you have to do is on the back of your card or on a product label that's sold with your card, have the little copyright Stampin' Up! Image, okay? So this is a stamp set that fulfills that angel policy. And if you want more information about angel policies, I'm happy to help you with that. I can direct you to the PDF, but because Stampin' Up! Owns the copyright for the designer series papers, for the shapes of the stamps and the dies and the stamps themselves, then you have to acknowledge that is their copyright when you sell things. But they are very happy for you to sell cards that you made, so definitely go for it. That is a big perk. Now, the other thing, and I will just mention this like one time here because it comes up sometimes, that copyright Stampin' Up!, that means that if you see things on platforms that start with the letter T and have 4 letters in them, and I'm not even going to say the name, that if you see things that are Stampin' Up! Designs, those are stolen. They are property of Stampin' Up! Those designs are stolen, and the quality that you get is often a 4-letter word that starts with the letter S and then H. So anyway, we don't have to go into it more, but know that the Stampin' Up! Products that you get are amazing quality, and they will be an outstanding tool that you'll have for many, many, many years. So especially something like a Valentine set is a great one to have in your collection that you can use over and over again. So, all right. Oh, I promised you another card. Yay, Bonnie, I'm glad you like this one. Okay, so here are the cards that I have with the stamp set. And these feature they were done with Hearts of Elegance before the new catalog came out, so I didn't have Hugs for Love yet. But these are a really fun way to use a lot of these stamps in here too. And then the big Love You, My Heart Belongs to You, Happy Valentine's Day. These are lots of good ones. And same as with the Hugs for Love being extended way beyond Valentine's Day. Yes, there's a Happy Valentine's Day greeting in here, but it is not limited to just greeting for Valentine's Day. It is great for all kinds of like love you, sending love. These could be cards of encouragement. And the more you get those images away from red and pink, the more you like extend their flexibility. Like if I did this card in like, you know, purples and like lavenders or something like that, or if I did this card in blues and oranges, you know, that is definitely something that doesn't scream Valentine's Day, but could be the exact same card layout, just to let someone know that you care about them, because that is what we're here to do, right? All right. Oh, yay. Thanks, Alice. It's really frustrating sometimes. So, all right. So that is going to be our video for today. So as we learned last Thursday is now Cake Day in LovenStamps Studio world. So happy Cake Day to you all. And if that didn't make any sense to you, feel free to go back to last Thursday where we made a Happy Cake Day card. Actually, I've got it right here. Wait, my chair is stuck. Here we go. I'll share a Happy Cake Day card with you. Here you go. Happy Cake Day, everyone. This is from last Thursday. And it's a birthday card, obviously, but wrong way. But we were celebrating Cake Day on there. So for all of your Cake Day celebrations, we have birthday things. That stamp set is stamp set is called Wildflower Suite is called Wildflower Birthday, and the stamp set is called something like that. But it's new from the new book too. So. All right, happy Cake Day, Betty. And as always, happy pre-Friday to you too, because we love to we need some new things for Tuesdays, guys. Everyone, let me know if on Tuesday, we'll talk about that, some new names for the Tuesday segments. So, all right, everyone, have a great weekend. I hope that you stay warm and cozy, and I will also, zip up here. Hope you stay warm and cozy, and that you have a chance to do some crafting. Share some cards with people. This is a great season as we head into Valentine's to just let the people around you know you're thinking of them. I mean, who gets Valentine's cards in the mail? Not very many of us, but that doesn't mean you can't send Valentine cards. Wouldn't that be a surprise for somebody? So. All right, everyone. Yay, Darlene. Glad you love the cards. Glad you like this one, Heather. It is really pretty. That Marbled Elegance paper is gorgeous. So, all right. I'll be back on Tuesday with another Maker Mornings with Egg episode. And I appreciate you guys joining and chatting along with me. And we'll see you soon. Happy stamping, everybody.